She found him in a puddle of rainwater and spreading blood, clutching two infants like they were the only proof he'd ever loved anything. He was dying. And when she stepped closer, his eyes opened with the kind of desperation that comes right before giving up. The rain had been falling on the warehouse district for 3 hours straight, the kind of cold November rain that soaked through thrift store hoodies in seconds. Sky Jackson's stomach had been empty since lunch. Her sneakers had a hole that let in water with every step. Her phone showed 8% battery. She was taking the long way home, the route where nobody from school would see her walking instead of riding. Just her and the empty warehouses. That's when she heard it. Crying. 2 voices. Small. Desperate. Overlapping like an alarm no one else could hear. The security guard didn't look up from his phone. A woman pushing boxes walked past without pausing. A truck driver slammed his door, earbuds in, and walked away. Nobody stopped. Nobody noticed. But Sky's feet moved before her brain gave permission. She slipped between 2 warehouses. The air smelled like rust and old water. An orange security light buzzed overhead. And that's when she saw him. Propped against the wall, white shirt soaked through with more than rain. A dark stain spreading from his side. In his arms, 2 newborns wrapped in blankets, faces red from crying. His eyes found her through the rain. "You heard them," he whispered. Sky froze. She should run. Call someone. Do anything except walk closer to a bleeding stranger in a place where nobody could hear her scream. But the babies were getting quieter, weaker. "Promise me something," he said, blood on his lips. "Before I tell you who I am. Before any of this makes sense." The rain hammered down. "Promise me you won't leave them." Before we dive into this story, let us know where you are watching from in the comments section, and what time is it right there. Then don't forget to subscribe to our channel to support the work we do here. Now let me take you back to where it all started. Sky walked the long route home again. She did this most days. The short way meant passing kids from school in their parents' cars. They'd stare at her through windows like she was invisible. On the long route, it was just her in the warehouses. Her red hoodie hung loose on her body. Too big, but it felt safe. She pushed her hands into the front pocket. Her fingers touched a folded napkin. The lunch lady had slipped her 2 extra rolls during lunch, called them leftovers. They both knew better. The sky was getting dark. Street lights buzzed on. Yellow light washed over the concrete. Trucks rolled past, their headlights cutting through the evening. Workers moved boxes. A forklift beeped somewhere close. Sky's stomach made a noise. She thought about Grandma at home. There'd be something on the stove. Not much, but enough for 2 people if they were careful. "Almost there," she said to herself. A forklift backed up nearby. The guard at the gate was on his phone. A woman pushed a cart full of boxes past him. Everyone was tired. Everyone wanted to go home. Then Sky heard something, a cry, thin and high and desperate. Then another one, overlapping the first. Babies. She stopped walking. The crying bounced off the warehouse walls. It came in bursts, sharp. Then it would fade, then start again. She looked around. The guard didn't move. The forklift kept beeping. A truck driver slammed his door and walked away with earbuds in. "Do you hear that?" Sky asked the woman with the cart. The woman stopped, listened for maybe half a second, then shook her head. "Just machines, sweetie. You should get home before it gets darker." Sky nodded, but she knew better. Machines don't cry like that. Machines don't sound scared. Her feet moved toward the sound before she thought about it. Every warning Grandma ever gave her ran through her head. Don't go into alleys. Don't chase strange noises. Don't wander where other kids aren't around. Another cry cut through the air, shorter this time, like whoever was making it was getting tired. Sky swallowed hard. "Somebody has to check," she whispered. Nobody else was moving. Nobody else seemed to care. She left the main path, slipped between 2 warehouses, The air got colder. It smelled like rain and old metal. "Hello?" she called softly. "Are you okay?" The only answer was crying. Two voices, small and helpless. Sky kept walking toward the sound. The narrow passage opened up into a wider loading bay. A metal roof covered half of it. One orange security light buzzed above a door. It made a weak circle on the ground. Under that light sat a man. He was propped against the wall. His legs stretched out in front of him. His shoes were shiny even with scuffs on them. He wore a white shirt with the collar open. His suit jacket was pushed back. His head rested against the metal wall. His eyes were half closed. In his arms were two tiny babies. They were wrapped in cream-colored blankets. They were the ones crying. One baby's face was bright red. Their fists punched the air. The other one made weaker sounds, like they were running out of energy to complain. Sky froze. The man looked like someone from TV. Expensive clothes, nice watch. His hair was styled but starting to fall out of place, but his white shirt had something dark smeared across it. The stains spread from his side. Sky's breath caught in her throat. There was no gun, no attacker, no yelling, just quiet proof that something bad had already happened. "Sir?" she whispered. "Are you okay?" His eyes flickered. He focused on her for the first time. "You heard them," he said. His voice was rough. Sky took a small step closer. Her hands stayed in her hoodie pocket. The man blinked. He was trying to see her clearly. The orange light made his skin look pale. His lips had a gray color around the edges. Sweat covered his forehead. Up close, she saw the dark patch on his shirt better. It wasn't water. It looked heavy and sticky. Someone had tied fabric tight around his side, a makeshift bandage, but it was soaked through. "You're hurt," Sky said. Her voice came out small. He let out something between a breath and a laugh. "Very observant," he said. Then he winced. The movement pulled at his side. The babies cried harder. Then their voices got tired and faded to whimpers. "How old are they?" Sky asked. She needed to say something that wasn't, "I'm scared." 3 weeks, he whispered. Too young to understand why adults make such bad choices. Sky moved closer. She was drawn to the twins. Their faces were scrunched up. Their lashes were wet. Their mouths formed tiny shapes. "Can I hold one?" she asked. He studied her, really looked at her worn hoodie, at her scuffed shoes, at the way she met his eyes without looking away. "I was hoping you'd say that," he said quietly. The man shifted one of the twins toward Sky. His hands shook, not from fear, from pure exhaustion. "Support the head," he said softly. "I've helped with my neighbor's baby," Sky replied. She sounded steadier than she felt. "I know how to hold small people." The baby's warmth settled into her arms. It felt right, like something that had always belonged there. Tiny fingers grabbed her hoodie, testing if she was real. The crying eased into hiccups. "There," Sky whispered. "You just needed someone your own size." The man watched. Something in his face relaxed. "They said you'd be good with them," he said quietly. Sky frowned. "Who's they?" He glanced up at a small camera under the overhang. "People who notice more than they're noticed," he said. His eyes came back to her. "People who told me there's a girl in a red hoodie who always stops when someone drops their groceries." Heat rushed to Sky's face. "Those were heavy bags," she muttered, "and nobody was helping." "Exactly," he said. The twins still in his arms whimpered. He shifted his weight. Even the smallest movement hurt him. "You need an ambulance," Sky said quickly. "Or police. Or somebody." He shook his head weakly. "Only one number will do any good right now." He reached into his jacket. His hand shook more than Sky liked. A wallet slid out, sleek and thin. From it, he pulled a single card. It looked heavy and expensive. "Huh, take this," he said. Sky fumbled a little. She had to balance the baby and the card at the same time. The edges were silver. The surface was smooth. Under the security light, she could just make out the name printed on top. Her breath stopped. She'd seen that name before, on giant screens downtown, on donation plaques at school, on the small TV in the clinic waiting room, a tech billionaire, the one teachers talked about when they mentioned innovation and changing the world. "You're that guy?" she blurted. "From the commercials?" He managed a small smile. "That's one way to put it." Both babies cried at the same time, like tiny alarms going off. "On the back," he said. His voice was barely above a whisper. "There's a number. Not public. Call it. Tell them where we are. Tell them you're with me and the twins." "Why not 911?" Sky asked. His eyes went dark. "Because not everyone in uniform works for your best interest, and not everyone in my world wants us found in time." Sky's fingers tightened on the card. "Please," he added. His voice was so quiet now. "Promise me you won't leave them." Sky looked at the twins, one in her arms, one clinging to his shirt. "I promise," she said. Sky shifted the baby in her arms and dug into her hoodie pocket for her phone. The screen was cracked. The battery icon showed almost empty. "Please don't die right now," she whispered to it. He tried to laugh and winced instead. "Talking to phones now," he said quietly. "You really are a child of this century." She turned the card over. The number on the back wasn't like other numbers. No logo, no label, just digits. "I'm really doing this," she said to herself, and dialed. The line didn't ring. "Where is he?" A woman's voice demanded immediately, low and controlled. Sky blinked. Hello?" "You have his card," the voice said. "You wouldn't be calling if you weren't with him. Is he conscious?" She looked at the man. His head rested back, eyes closed, lips parted as he took shallow breaths. "Barely," Sky whispered. "He's been shot, I think. There's blood. And 2 babies. And a puddle." The woman let out a sharp breath. "Of course there's a puddle," she muttered. Then her voice got firmer. "Listen to me. You're at the East loading bays, correct? Do you see a sign that says D12? Sky looked around. A faded stencil on the wall read D11. "Close," she said. "Good. Stay with him. Do not move him. Help is on the way. Keep the twins calm if you can." "How do you know my—" Sky started. Then she froze. "Your name?" the woman finished. "Sky, right?" Sky's grip on the phone tightened. "How do you know that?" she whispered. The woman's voice softened just a little, because he never stopped saying it. The babies settled down bit by bit. The rhythm of Sky's sway calmed them. The low hum of distant trucks helped too. The warehouse lot was getting quieter. Night shift meant fewer voices, more machine sounds. The man's breathing stayed shallow but steady. Up close, Sky could see tiny lines at the corners of his eyes, the kind that came from smiling too much and worrying even more. "You shouldn't talk," she said quietly. "It looks like it hurts." He opened his eyes anyway. "Sometimes talking's worth the pain," he said. "Why didn't you call that number yourself?" she asked, "before it got this bad?" He looked at the twins. "I didn't want them to hear me sound scared." Sky blinked. "Babies don't know words." "They know energy," he replied. "And I've spent a long time pretending to be fearless around cameras. Turns out it's harder when the audience drools on your tie." A tiny smile pulled at Sky's mouth. He watched her carefully. "You came," he said quietly. "Out of everyone within earshot, you came." "Someone had to," she said, like it was obvious. "They're just babies, and you're leaking." He huffed a weak laugh. "I read a report about you," he admitted. Said you always pick up litter that isn't yours and help people carry things and fix chairs that wobble even when no one watches. Sky's cheeks burned. Who writes reports about kids? People who regret not being around when they were smaller. Sky shifted her weight. She was careful not to jostle the baby. You keep saying reports like I'm a science project, she muttered. He looked at her with something mixed in his expression. Guilt and wonder at the same time. You kind of are, he said. My biggest unfinished one. Her chest tightened. What does that even mean? He swallowed. His eyes drifted toward the dark sky beyond the loading bay roof. When I was your age, he began, I lived 3 bus stops from here. I thought the world started and ended with cracked sidewalks and broken vending machines. Your mother thought the world was bigger. Sky's breath caught. Your mother. Those words coming from this stranger's mouth. I left, he said quietly. I told myself it was temporary, that I'd come back when I had something to show for all my dreaming. By the time I did, everything had changed. She was gone. You were already carrying more than a kid should. He stopped, then forced himself to meet her eyes. I thought sending money and opportunities was better than showing up late, he said. So I watched from screens and files. I told myself there would be a perfect moment to knock. And this is it? She asked. Her voice barely came out. Bleeding in a puddle? He actually smiled. I didn't say it was a good plan. Sky's throat felt tight. So who are you to me? She asked. He let out a shaky breath. A coward, he said. And your father. The world tilted. The trucks, the lights, the damp concrete. Everything blurred for a second like someone had smeared the edges. Sky stared at him. No, she said automatically. My dad is nobody. A question mark. Your grandmother's phrase, he said softly. She was always better with words than me. Anger flared quick and hot. It competed with shock and something that felt dangerously like hope. You didn't come, Sky said. The words tumbled out before she could stop them. When Grandma got sick. When we almost had to leave our apartment. When kids at school said I probably didn't have a dad. His face crumpled slightly. I know. No, you don't, she snapped. The baby in her arms squirmed. She immediately hushed her voice. You were on screens talking about giving back in community. I saw you in a video once handing a big check to a school across town. We watched it on the tiny TV in the clinic. I thought, you thought if you were in that line I'd know who you were, he finished quietly. Her eyes stung. He breathed in shakily. They showed me your science fair picture, he said, and your award list, and your attendance record. I knew the shape of your life, not the sound of your voice. A siren wailed faintly in the distance, not aggressive, just steady and getting closer. He closed his eyes briefly. I'm not asking for forgiveness, he said. I'm asking for a chance not to waste this moment too. The faint siren grew louder. It weaved through the city noise. Lights flickered at the end of the lane. Not harsh like police lights. Soft pulsing blue on a sleek vehicle Sky had never seen before. That's not an ambulance, she said nervously. It's a kind of one, he replied. Private, too expensive. That's how you know it's mine. The babies stirred at the new sound. The one in Sky's arms scrunched their face. She rocked gently, hummed under her breath. It was a tune Grandma used to sing, wordless and old, like it belonged to before. The car door swung open. The same woman from the phone stepped out. She moved quickly but not chaotically. Dark coat, practical shoes, her hair pulled back. Of all the places to get shot, she muttered as she knelt beside him. You chose a loading bay puddle. Dramatic. He tried to smile. I had help. His eyes flicked to Sky. The woman looked up. Her eyes met Sky's. "You must be Sky," she said gently. Sky hugged the baby closer. "Everyone keeps saying my name," she muttered, like they practiced. The woman's mouth twitched. "In a way, we did. I'm Amara. I work with him. And for you, apparently." Amara's hands moved efficiently. She checked his pulse, lifted his shirt just enough to confirm what Sky already knew. There was a wound, wrapped tight, seeping but not pouring. "Not fatal if we hurry," Amara said. "Which we are." She looked at Sky. "Can you ride with us?" she asked. "They seem to like you." Sky looked at the twins, then at the man who'd just called himself her father. "Yes," she said. The inside of the vehicle smelled like clean fabric and something sharp and sterile. Soft lights glowed overhead, much gentler than hospital fluorescent. Sky sat on a padded bench, seatbelt snug across her lap. Both twins cradled against her. A medic worked quietly on the man across from her, checking monitors, adjusting the bandage, replacing it with something more professional. "Pressure stable," the medic said quietly. "Good call on the first wrap. Who did it?" "Driver," Amara said from the front. "I walked him through it by phone." The city rolled past the tinted windows, distorted by Sky's reflection. A little girl with big eyes, hoodie hood half up, babies anchored to her like she was the shore. "You doing okay back there?" the medic asked her kindly. Sky nodded. "They're heavy," she admitted. "In a nice way." Her father opened his eyes. "Found her, despite the movement." "Sky," he whispered. "I'm here," she said quickly. "You're not allowed to pass out again unless the doctor says so." He almost smiled. "Bossy," he murmured. "Takes after your grandmother." "Good," Sky said. Amara twisted in her seat to look back. "There's something you need to understand," she said to Sky. "When we get to the clinic, there will be people who think they know what's best for these babies. Some of them care about their safety. Some care about other things. Like money," Sky guessed. "And power," Amara added. "But he left something that gives you a say. We'll talk once he's stable." Sky swallowed. "I'm just a kid." Amara's expression softened. "You're the kid who walked toward crying. That makes you more qualified than half the adults I know." The private clinic didn't look like any hospital Sky knew. No flickering TVs in the corner. No plastic chairs bolted to the floor. The waiting area had soft couches, a water cooler, plants that were actually alive. Sky sat on one of the couches, a twin in each arm, their tiny bodies warm and asleep against her. A nurse had given her 2 small bottles just in case, and a blanket to drape over her legs. Through a glass door, she could see people in scrubs moving quickly around her father's stretcher. His face was pale but calmer, surrounded by beeping machines that sounded steady, not frantic. Amara sat beside Sky, a tablet balanced on her knees. "How did they even know I was there?" Sky asked quietly. "You and him." "Before I called." Amara tapped the tablet. A grainy, still image appeared. A familiar red hoodie walking past a security camera earlier that week. "We watch more than is fair," she admitted. "He asked me, years ago, to keep an eye on someone. A girl who always helped people, even when nobody helped her." Sky's chest ached. "You could have just talked to me." "That wasn't my choice to make," Amara replied. "Mine was to keep you safe from a distance until he grew up enough to step closer." Sky shifted carefully. Didn't want to wake the twins. "He picked a really weird time," she said. Amara's lips quirked. "People don't change at tidy moments," she said. "They change when everything shakes." They sat in silence, listening to the muffled hospital noises. For the first time, Sky didn't feel like she was on the outside of those doors. She felt like she was waiting for family. Hours blurred. A doctor eventually came out. calm and tired. He assured them the surgery had gone well. The bullet had missed anything that would end him outright. He'd be weak, in pain, but alive. Later, when the twins were settled in a supervised nursery room, Amara guided Sky into a smaller office nearby. Papers lay neatly stacked on the desk. "We don't have to talk about this tonight," Amara said gently, "but I promised him I'd explain as soon as you were ready." Sky slid into a chair. Her legs swung above the floor. "I'm already in it, aren't I?" she said. "Might as well know the rules." Amara smiled faintly. "You're more prepared than most adults I've seen sit in that chair." She unfolded a document, smoothed it flat. "This is his will," she said, "the legal version of what happens if things go badly. Some sections talk about donations, foundations, boring but important details. This part is the one that matters tonight," she pointed. Sky leaned in. There, in the middle of dense text, was her full name. "In the event that I am incapacitated or deceased, I name my eldest child, Sky, as guardian and moral protector of my younger children and steward of my personal legacy, provided that she demonstrates of her own free will a willingness to protect them in a moment of danger or need." "That's a lot of words," Sky said. Her voice came out small. "It means," Amara replied, "you already did the thing this paper asked for." "Some people in his world," Amara continued, "thought this clause was symbolic, a way of saying character matters without any real impact. They didn't know your name. They didn't think you really existed." Sky swallowed. "They thought I was made up?" "A story to make his speeches sound better," Amara said. "A narrative about roots and responsibility." But he insisted. And when lawyers write something down enough times, it becomes real whether people like it or not. Sky stared at her name on the paper. "I'm just a kid," she said again. "You're a kid who walked into a dark loading bay because she heard crying," Amara replied. "The board members we're about to deal with would have kept walking." "Are they going to be mad at me?" Sky asked. "Some will," Amara said honestly. "Because your existence means they can't control everything they thought they could. But some will be relieved someone like you is in the picture." Sky's fingers traced the curve of her name. "I don't want to take anything away from anyone," she whispered. "You're not," Amara said. "You're being asked to protect 2 babies and help decide what kind of person your father gets remembered as." That last part made Sky's chest feel tight. "And if I say no?" she asked. "Then the board makes all the decisions," Amara replied. "Legally, they'll push for that. Morally, he wanted you to have a choice." Sky thought of the twins' fingers curling into her hoodie, the way their cries had quieted in her arms. "I'll say yes," she said softly, "but they don't get to treat me like a decoration." Amara smiled. "Good," she said. "I was hoping you'd say that." The next day, Sky found herself in a conference room that felt like another planet. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed the city spread out below. Tiny cars like toys. The table was long and glossy. Adults in suits sat around it, laptops open, faces composed. At one end of the table was an empty chair. "That's yours," Amara whispered. Sky hesitated, then climbed up. Her red hoodie was a bright interruption in the room's muted colors. A man with carefully styled hair cleared his throat. "We're grateful for the update on his condition," he said. "Of course, we're all deeply concerned, but we also have a corporation to run and shareholders to answer to. The children's care should be handled by professionals." "Their care is being handled by professionals," Amara said smoothly. "Medical, legal, emotional. That's why Sky is here." Several heads turned toward her. Some expressions were curious. Others were thinly disguised annoyance. "She's a minor," one woman said. "Surely this is inappropriate pressure." Sky's fingers twisted in her hoodie pocket. She touched the edge of the card she still carried. Her heart pounded, but she remembered what Amara had told her. Tell the truth. That's all. I'm here because I heard them, Sky said. Her voice was soft but clear. The twins. Nobody else did. I went toward them when I could have gone home. That's the only reason I'm in this room. I'm not here to take anyone's job. I'm here to make sure they end up with people who hear them too. For a moment, nobody spoke. Then, surprisingly, one older board member nodded slightly. Well said. If you just got chills watching an 11-year-old shut down a room full of billionaires, subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. And drop a comment. Do you think Sky is too young for this responsibility? Or is she exactly what those twins need? The comment section is about to get heated, and I'm here for it. The meeting lasted longer than any class Sky had ever sat through. Adults said words like fiduciary duty and public image and crisis communication. Amara translated the important parts in whispers when she could. Through it all, Sky kept thinking of simpler things, the way the twin had grabbed her hoodie string, the way Grandma's hands trembled when she was tired, the way her father had whispered her name like it was something precious instead of something he'd avoided for years. At one point, a younger man looked directly at Sky. With respect, you're 10. Don't you think these decisions are beyond you? Her cheeks flamed. She wanted to disappear under the table. Instead, she pictured the babies' faces. Sometimes the person close to the ground sees things first, she said, like when a baby is about to roll off the couch. A few people chuckled, not unkindly. And this isn't just about money, she added. It's about what they'll read when they search his name someday. I don't want their first results to be people arguing over who got richer. That landed. Even the ones who didn't like her presence understood search results. When the meeting finally ended, Amara squeezed her shoulder. You did well, she said. I was shaking the whole time, Sky admitted. That just means you were carrying something heavy, Amara replied. Doesn't mean you dropped it. For the first time, walking through those glass halls, people moved aside as if she belonged there. Not like an accident that had wandered in. Being seen was strange, but it didn't feel bad. Days blurred into a new rhythm. School in the mornings, clinic visits in the afternoons, evenings at home with Grandma and the twins when they were brought over for home time. One afternoon, Sky sat by her father's hospital bed, the room softly lit. Machines humming quietly. His color was better now, though he still moved like each breath reminded him to be careful. You know, he said, my board is very confused by you. Sky peeled an orange on a napkin. Good, she said. Confused people say less mean stuff out loud. He laughed, then winced, pressed a hand gingerly to his side. Don't make me laugh too hard. Sorry, she said, not sounding sorry at all. He watched her for a moment. Tell me about your school, he said. Not the grades, the people. So she did. About the girl who always drew on her hands instead of paper. The boy who pretended not to care but cried when his project broke. The teacher who stayed late to tutor anyone who asked, even when her eyes were tired. And you? He asked softly. Where do you fit in that puzzle? Sky thought. I'm the person who notices when somebody's sitting alone, she said finally. And when the hallway smells like a leak before it floods. And when the principal is more stressed than she admits. That sounds like leadership, he murmured. That sounds like watching, she countered. Same thing if you use it right. Sky looked at the bandage under his gown and thought maybe he was finally using his watching right too. The twins came to visit the clinic more often as he improved. One late afternoon, sunlight slanted through the blinds. The small room felt almost cozy. Grandma sat in the corner knitting something in bright yarn. Amara scrolled through a document, but her eyes kept flicking to the door. Sky sat on the bed, careful not to jostle his injured side. A twin perched on each knee. They were babbling nonsense syllables, experimenting with sound like it was a new toy. Da-da, one chirped, patting his leg. Guilty, he said, raising his hand. Baba, the other added, grabbing Sky's sleeve. Close, she grinned. But that's a sheep. They kept going. Gaga. Nana. Ma. Then one of them looked up at Sky with startling focus, as if recognizing her not just as a warm lap, but as a person with a name. Sky, the twin tried. Their tongue tripped. Sky froze. Come on, Grandma whispered. You can do it, sugar. Sky, the baby managed. The middle sound was wobbly but clear. Sky's eyes filled with tears. You heard that, right? She said. Her voice cracked. Pretty hard to miss, her father replied. His own eyes were shining. First real word. And they chose you. The other twin, not to be outdone, slapped both hands on her hoodie. Sky! They shouted, shorter but just as enthusiastic. Sky laughed and cried at the same time. The twins patted, her cheeks with clumsy concern, like they'd broken her and were trying to fix it. You didn't break me, she whispered. You made me real. Her father reached over and squeezed her hand. You always were, he said. We're just finally catching up. That's when Sky noticed the man outside the window. He stood across the street, suit and tie, sunglasses even though the sun was setting, watching their room. Dad, Sky said quietly. Who's that? Her father followed her gaze. His face went hard. Amara was already on her feet, phone to her ear. He's back, she said into the phone, low and urgent. The man outside didn't move, just stood there, watching. Her father pulled the twins closer to his chest, protected them with his body. Sky, take them to the nursery, he said. His voice was calm but firm. Now. What's happening? She asked. Please, he said. Just go. Sky scooped up both twins. They protested, reaching back for their dad. Grandma stood quickly, followed Sky out of the room. In the hallway, Sky looked back. Through the window, she saw her father and Amara talking intensely. The man outside still hadn't moved. Grandma, what's going on? Sky whispered. I don't know, baby, Grandma replied, but her hands were shaking. They reached the nursery. A nurse took the twins, put them in their cribs. Sky pressed her face against the small window in the door, watched them settle. Footsteps approached from behind. Amara appeared. Her face was tight. We need to talk, she said. Both of you. She led them to a small office, locked the door behind them. There are things we haven't told you, Amara began. Things we thought we could handle without scaring you. What things? Sky demanded. Amara took a breath. Your father's shooting wasn't random, she said. It was planned, and the person who ordered it is still out there. The room tilted. Sky gripped the edge of the desk. Someone tried to kill him? She whispered. Yes, Amara said, and now they know about you. Sky couldn't breathe properly. What do you mean they know about me? She asked. Amara sat down heavily, rubbed her face. The moment you appeared at that press conference, you became visible, she said. To everyone, including the people who want your father gone. Grandma put a protective hand on Sky's shoulder. Who are these people? Grandma demanded. Board members, business rivals, people who stand to gain billions if he dies and the twins disappear, Amara explained. Your father built an empire. Empires have enemies. Sky thought about the man outside, the sunglasses, the way he just stood there watching. Is he in danger right now? She asked. Security is handling it, Amara replied, but we need to be smarter going forward, all of us. The door opened. Her father walked in, moving slowly but steady. His face was grim. The man outside is gone, he said, but he got what he came for. Which is? Amara asked. Confirmation that Sky and the twins are here regularly, he replied, that we're predictable. He looked at Sky. really looked at her. "I'm sorry," he said. "I thought I could protect you by keeping you close. But I made you a target instead." "Who wants to hurt us?" Sky asked. Her voice came out smaller than she wanted. Her father pulled up a chair, sat across from her. "His name is Richard Cole," he said. "He's been on my board for 10 years, second largest shareholder. When I got shot, he pushed hard to have the twins declared wards of the state. Said I was unfit, said they needed professional care." "But you recovered," Sky said. "Which he didn't expect," her father continued. "And then you showed up, a guardian he didn't know about, someone who complicated his plans." Amara pulled up a photo on her tablet, showed it to Sky. A man in his 50s, silver hair, expensive suit, smile that didn't reach his eyes. "This is Richard Cole," Amara said. "He's smart, careful. Everything he does looks legal on paper. But it's not," Sky guessed. "No," her father confirmed. "It's not." Sky studied the photo, memorized the face. "What does he want?" she asked. "Control of my company," her father said. "If I die and the twins are gone, my shares get distributed among the board. He'd become majority owner overnight." "So he tried to kill you," Sky said flatly. "We can't prove it," Amara said quickly. "But yes, we believe so." The room went quiet. Sky thought about the loading bay, the puddle, the way her father had been holding those babies like his life depended on it. Because it did. "What happens now?" Grandma asked. "Now we're careful," her father said. "No more regular schedules, no more predictable patterns. Security escorts everywhere." He looked at Sky. "You might need to stop coming here as often," he said. "I hate saying that, but your safety matters more." Sky's chest tightened. "No," she said. Everyone looked at her. "No?" her father repeated. "I'm not hiding," Sky said. Her voice was steady now, firm. "You said I'm their guardian. That means I show up, especially when it's dangerous." "Sky, this isn't a game," Amara said gently. "I know," Sky replied. "That's why I'm not running." Her father's eyes got shiny. "You're 11, he whispered. "So?" Sky said. "I was 10 when I found you bleeding. Age doesn't change what's right." Grandma squeezed her shoulder. "She's got a point," Grandma said quietly. Her father looked at Amara. Some silent conversation passed between them. Finally, he nodded. "Okay," he said. "But we do this smart. You never go anywhere alone. You tell us everything. Any strange person. Any weird feeling. Everything." "Deal," Sky said. Amara stood. "I'll arrange for a security detail," she said. "Someone discreet. They'll shadow you at school. Walk you home. You won't even notice them." "I'll notice," Sky said. "Good," Amara replied. "That means you're paying attention." That night, Sky lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Grandma sat on the edge of her mattress. "You scared?" Grandma asked. "Terrified," Sky admitted. "Good," Grandma said. "Fear keeps you sharp. Just don't let it stop you." "Did you know?" Sky asked. "About the danger?" Grandma hesitated. "I suspected," she said finally. "Rich men don't end up shot in loading bays by accident, but I didn't know details." "Are you mad I didn't walk away?" Sky asked. Grandma smiled sadly. "Baby, I'd be disappointed if you had." The security detail started Monday. A woman named Torres, early 30s, dressed like a regular person. Jeans, jacket, nothing obvious, but Sky noticed the way her eyes never stopped moving. The way she positioned herself between Sky and crowds. "Don't mind me," Torres said at the bus stop. "Just getting some air." "You're following me," Sky said. "I'm near you," Torres corrected. Different thing. At school, Torres waited outside. Sky watched through the classroom window. She never sat, never relaxed. Mia noticed too. "Who's that?" she asked at lunch. "Family friend," Sky lied. Mia didn't look convinced, but dropped it. After school, Sky went to her father's apartment like usual. Torres followed 3 steps behind. The twins were there, playing with blocks. They squealed when they saw her. "Sky! Sky!" She picked them both up, one on each hip. They were getting heavier. Her father was on the phone in the kitchen, voice low, tense. When he hung up, his face was pale. "What happened?" Sky asked. He gestured for her to sit. The twins squirmed out of her arms, went back to their blocks. "The doctor called," he said quietly. "About the fever incident last month, the one where the twin wouldn't eat." Sky remembered. The panic, the clinic visit. "What about it?" "They ran additional tests on the blood work," he said. "Standard procedure. Found traces of something that shouldn't have been there." Sky's stomach dropped. "What kind of something?" "A mild sedative," he said. "Not enough to cause serious harm, but enough to make a baby lethargic, uninterested in food." The room spun. "Someone drugged him?" Sky whispered. Her father nodded. "The nanny that day," Sky said. "The regular one was sick. There was a substitute." "We know," he replied. "Amara's looking into it. The agency sent her, said she was fully vetted." "But she wasn't," Sky said. "No," he confirmed. "She wasn't." Sky looked at the twins, playing innocently, unaware how close they'd come to something terrible. "Cole did this," she said, not a question. "We think so," her father replied. "But again, we can't prove it. The nanny disappeared. Fake name, fake credentials. No trail." Sky stood, paced. "He's trying to hurt them," she said. "To get to you." "Or to make me look like an unfit father," her father added. "If something happens to them while in my care, the courts could remove them. Place them in state, custody, where Cole could influence the outcome." It was brilliant. Evil, but brilliant. "What do we do?" Sky asked. "We're changing everything," he said. "New apartment, new staff, new routines. Nobody knows where we are except people we absolutely trust." "When?" "Tonight." Sky's breath caught. "That fast?" "We don't have a choice," he said. An hour later, the apartment was chaos. Movers packed boxes. Amara coordinated on 3 phones at once. Torres positioned herself at the door. Sky helped pack the twins' things: clothes, toys, bottles. Her father appeared beside her. "There's something else," he said. Sky looked up. "We found something in the apartment," he continued. "Hidden camera in the nursery." Ice flooded Sky's veins. "Someone was watching them?" "Yes," he said. "For weeks, maybe months." Sky felt sick. "He knows everything," she whispered. "Every routine, every person who comes here, everything." "Not anymore," her father said firmly. "We're ghosts starting tonight." They moved to a building across town. Nondescript, middle class. Nothing like what people expected a billionaire to live in. The apartment was smaller, but safer. Amara had swept it personally. No cameras, no bugs, no surprises. That night, Sky sat on the floor with the twins. They were cranky, confused by the new space. "I know," she told them softly. "Yeah, everything's different. But you're safe, I promise." One twin crawled into her lap, stuck his thumb in his mouth. "Sky," he mumbled around his thumb. "I'm here," she said. Her father sat down beside them. "I need to tell you something," he said. "About the night I got shot." Sky looked at him. "I was meeting someone," he began. "A private investigator. I'd hired him to look into Cole, to find proof of what he was doing." "And?" Sky asked. "And the investigator is dead," her father said quietly. "Car accident. 2 days after I woke up from surgery." Sky's blood went cold. "Cole killed him." "Probably," her father said. "A along with any evidence he'd gathered. "So we have nothing," Sky said. "We have each other," he replied. "And we have you." "I'm just a kid," Sky said. The words felt hollow now. "You're the kid who sees things others miss," her father said, "who notices when someone drops groceries, when a baby is sick, when something's wrong." He looked at her seriously. "Cole underestimates you," he said, "because you're young, because you're poor, because you're not part of his world. That's his mistake." Sky understood what he was saying. "You want me to watch him. I want you to be you," her father said, "observant, careful. And if you see something, you tell me." Sky nodded slowly. The twin in her lap fell asleep, his breathing soft and even. "I won't let him hurt them," Sky whispered. "I know," her father said. "Neither will I." The new apartment had rules. No posting locations online, no telling friends the address, no patterns. Sky's visits were random now. Tuesday one week, Friday the next, sometimes mornings, sometimes nights. Torres was always there, a silent shadow. At school, things got complicated. Mia cornered her by the lockers. "You're being weird," Mia said. "I'm not," Sky replied. "You are," Mia insisted. "You won't tell me where you live now. You have that woman following you everywhere. You look over your shoulder constantly." Sky wanted to tell her, wanted to share the weight, but Amara's words echoed. The fewer people who know, the safer everyone is. "Family stuff," Sky said. "It's complicated." Mia studied her face. "Are you in danger?" "No," Sky lied. Mia didn't believe her, but she let it go. That afternoon, Sky had to meet with the scholarship committee, review applications, choose finalists. She took the bus downtown, Torres 3 seats back. At the office, Jennifer greeted her warmly. "Ready to change some lives?" Jennifer asked. Sky forced a smile. "Always." They worked through applications for 2 hours. Stories of kids doing good things, helping neighbors, starting programs, being kind without cameras. It reminded Sky why any of this mattered. Then Jennifer's assistant brought in coffee, set it on the desk. The assistant was new. Young guy. Eager smile. "Anything else?" he asked. "No, thank you," Jennifer said. The assistant left. Something about him bothered Sky. The way he'd looked at her a beat too long. The way his smile didn't match his eyes. She couldn't shake the feeling. After the meeting, Sky pulled Torres aside. "The assistant," Sky said quietly. "The one who brought coffee." Something felt off. Torres's expression sharpened. "Off how?" "I don't know," Sky admitted. "Just wrong. Like he was studying me." "Stay here," Torres said. She disappeared down the hall, came back 5 minutes later with Amara. "Describe him," Amara said immediately. Sky did. Height, hair color, the eager smile. Amara's jaw tightened. "That's not Jennifer's assistant," she said. "Her assistant is a woman named Carol. Has been for 3 years." The air left Sky's lungs. Then who was that? "Someone who shouldn't be here," Amara replied. Security swept the building. Found nothing. The man had vanished, but he'd left something behind. In the trash can near where Sky had been sitting, they found a small recording device, still active. "He was listening," Torres said grimly. "To everything you said." Amara bagged the device, handed it to security. "Cole's getting bolder," she said. That night, Sky couldn't eat dinner. Grandma noticed. "What's wrong, baby?" Sky told her everything. The fake assistant, the recording device, the feeling of being watched everywhere. "I'm tired," Sky admitted, "of looking over my shoulder, of not trusting anyone, of being scared." Grandma pulled her close. "I know," she said softly. But tired doesn't mean quit. What if I miss something? Sky whispered. What if I don't? Notice the right thing at the right time and someone gets hurt? Then we deal with it, Grandma said firmly. But you can't carry that fear alone. It'll crush you. Sky buried her face in Grandma's shoulder. I just want them safe, she said. They are safe, Grandma replied. Because of you. The next day her father called an emergency meeting. Sky, Amara, Torres, and 2 lawyers she'd never met. They gathered in the new apartment, twins napping in the bedroom. We have a problem, one lawyer said. His name was Patterson. Gray hair, serious face. Another one? Sky muttered. Cole filed a motion in family court, Patterson continued. He's claiming your father is mentally unstable, that the shooting traumatized him, that he's making poor decisions regarding the twins' safety. That's insane, Sky said. It's strategic, the other lawyer replied. Her name was Chen. He's building a case. Documented incidents, the fever, the move, the increased security. He's spinning it as paranoia. It's not paranoia if someone's actually trying to hurt you, Sky shot back. We know that, Chen said gently, but we have to prove it, in court, with evidence. We don't have evidence, her father said quietly. Just suspicions. Then we find some, Sky said. Everyone looked at her. How? Amara asked. Sky thought about it, about Cole, about how careful he was, how he stayed clean while others did his dirty work. He hires people, Sky said slowly. The fake nanny, the fake assistant, people who disappear after, but someone has to recruit them, someone has to pay them. Money trails, Patterson said, catching on. Exactly, Sky replied. Cole's too smart to pay them himself, but someone in his circle isn't. Amara leaned forward. You're thinking like an investigator, she said. I'm thinking like someone who grew up watching people, Sky replied. Rich people think poor people are invisible. They talk around us, do things in front of us, because they don't think we matter. Understanding dawned on her father's face. You want to use that, he said. I want to be what I've always been, Sky said. Someone people don't notice, until it's too late. The plan was risky. Sky would go back to her regular routine. Visible. Predictable. Exactly what Cole wanted. But this time, she'd be watching. Your bait, Torres said bluntly during the briefing. I'm aware, Sky replied. Her father hated it. There has to be another way, he said for the 10th time. There isn't, Amara said. Cole's getting desperate. Desperate people make mistakes, but only if they think they're winning. Sky understood the logic. If Cole thought she was exposed and vulnerable, he'd make a move. And when he did, they'd be ready. The first week, nothing happened. Sky went to school, visited the twins on Tuesdays and Thursdays, worked on scholarship applications. Torres followed, but from further back now. Less obvious. At school, kids stopped asking about the woman who followed her. Life normalized. Then Friday came. After school, Sky was walking to the bus stop when a car pulled up beside her. The back window rolled down. A woman leaned out. Well-dressed. Kind face. Sky? She asked. Sky stopped. Torres was half a block back. Yes? My name is Patricia, the woman said. I'm the twins' aunt. We spoke on the phone months ago. Sky's heart jumped. Patricia, the relative who'd visited, who'd played with the twins, who'd seemed genuinely kind. What are you doing here? Sky asked carefully. I need to talk to you, Patricia said, about your father, about the twins. It's urgent. So call him, Sky replied. I can't, Patricia said. Her voice dropped. He won't listen, but you will, please. 5 minutes, that's all I'm asking? Sky glanced back. Torres was walking faster now, had noticed the car. Not here, Sky said. There's a coffee shop 2 blocks away, Patricia said. Meet me there, please. The car drove off before Torres reached them. Who was that? Torres demanded. The twins' aunt, Sky said. Patricia. Torres's expression darkened. We need to call Amara. They did. 20 minutes later, they were all in the coffee shop. Sky, Torres, Amara, and Patricia. Patricia sat across from them, hands wrapped around a coffee cup. She looked nervous. Thank you for meeting me, she began. What do you want? Amara asked, not unkindly, but firm. Patricia took a breath. I need to tell you the truth, she said, about why Robert and I showed up when we did. Sky's stomach tightened. We were approached, Patricia continued, 6 months ago, by a man named Richard Cole. He said he was a friend of the family, that he was concerned about the twins' welfare. The table went silent. He offered us money, Patricia said quietly. A lot of money. To reconnect with the twins, to build a relationship, and then, when the time was right, to petition for custody. Sky felt like she'd been punched. You were working for him, she said. We were, Patricia admitted. Tears filled her eyes. I'm so ashamed. We were struggling financially. Robert lost his job. We were about to lose our house. Cole's offer seemed like a miracle. So you used us, Sky said flatly. At first, yes, Patricia said. That was the plan. But then, we met them, the twins, and you, and your father, and everything changed. Why should we believe you? Amara asked. Patricia reached into her purse, pulled out an envelope, slid it across the table. Because I kept records, she said. Every payment Cole made, every instruction he gave, every manipulation he tried. Amara opened the envelope. Her eyes widened as she read. This is bank statements, she said. Wire transfers. Emails. Everything, Patricia confirmed. I knew something was wrong. So I documented it. Just in case. She looked at Sky. When I saw how much you love those babies, Patricia said. When I saw what kind of person you are, I couldn't go through with it. Neither could Robert. Where is Robert? Torres asked suspiciously. Meeting with our lawyer, Patricia said, preparing to testify if you'll have us. Sky didn't know what to feel. Anger, relief, betrayal, hope, all of it at once. Why now? Sky asked. Why tell us this now? Patricia's face crumpled. Because Cole contacted us yesterday, she said. He has a new plan, and it involves hurting you. If your heart just dropped into your stomach, hit that subscribe button because this story is about to get dangerous. Comment right now. Do you think Patricia is telling the truth, or is this another trap? Trust your gut. Drop your theory below. Let's see who's paying attention. The coffee shop felt suddenly too cold. What kind of plan? Amara demanded. He wants us to invite you somewhere, Patricia said, looking at Sky. A family gathering. Somewhere public, but controlled. And while you're there, someone will take the twins. Sky's blood ran cold. A kidnapping, Torres said. Yes, Patricia whispered. He said it would look like a custody dispute. That by the time it got sorted out legally, he'd have positioned himself as the twins' legal guardian. Your father would be tied up in court for years. Amara was already on her phone, texting rapidly. When is this supposed to happen? She asked. This weekend, Patricia said. He told us to set it up for Sunday. A park, a picnic. Very innocent looking. Sky looked at Amara. We can use this, Sky said. Absolutely not, Amara replied. It's too dangerous. It's our chance, Sky insisted. If we know when and where he's making his move, we can catch him. With proof. And if something goes wrong? Torres asked. Then I'll handle it, Sky said. Her voice was steady, certain. This is what we've been waiting for. Cole making a mistake big enough to trace back to him. Patricia looked horrified. I didn't tell you this so you'd walk into danger, she said. I told you so you could protect them. The best way to protect them, Sky replied, is to stop him. Permanently. Amara and Torres exchanged looks. Finally, Amara sighed. I need to talk to your father. Her father said no, then no again, then absolutely not. They were in the apartment, twins playing on the floor, everyone gathered around the kitchen table. You're not bait, her father said firmly. End of discussion. It's not bait if we control the situation, Sky argued. She has a point, Amara said carefully. Her father shot her a look. Don't encourage this. I'm not encouraging, Amara replied. I'm being realistic. Cole is escalating. The court hearing is in 2 weeks. If we don't have evidence by then, he wins. The twins become wards of the state. He gets custody. You lose everything. The words hung heavy. Patterson, the lawyer, spoke up. She's right, he said. Patricia's testimony helps. But it's not enough. Cole will claim she's lying for money. We need him caught in the act, on record, undeniable. Her father looked at Sky. You're 11, he said. His voice cracked. I know, Sky replied, but I'm also their guardian. Legally, you made me that, so I get a say. He closed his eyes. You're just like your mother, he whispered. Stubborn. Brave. Terrifying. Is that a yes? Sky asked. It's a very reluctant maybe, he said. They planned for 2 days. Sunday, the park. Patricia would set it up exactly as Cole instructed, but this time the twins wouldn't actually be there. We'll use decoys, Torres explained. 2 kids from a security firm. Same age, same general appearance. From a distance, Cole's people won't know the difference. And the real twins? Sky asked. Safe house, Amara said. With Grandma, armed security. Nobody gets near them. Sky nodded. What about me? You'll be wired, Torres said. Audio and video, hidden camera in your jacket. If Cole or any of his people say anything incriminating, we'll have it. And if they try to take the decoy twins? Sky asked. We stop them, Torres said simply. Police will be stationed nearby, undercover. The moment anyone makes a move, we move faster. It sounded solid, but Sky's gut churned anyway. Saturday night, Sky couldn't sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow she'd walk into a trap. Knowingly. Willingly. Her door opened quietly. Her father slipped in, sat on the edge of her bed. Can't sleep either? He asked. No, she admitted. They sat in silence for a moment. I could still stop this, he said. Call it off. Find another way. There is no other way, Sky replied. You know that. He nodded slowly. When I found out you existed, he said quietly. When Amara showed me photos and reports, I thought I'd missed everything. Your whole childhood. All the moments that mattered. You did, Sky said. Not cruel, just honest. I know, he said, but then you walked into that loading bay, and you gave me a second chance. Not just at being your father, at being someone worth being. He looked at her. Tomorrow you're going to be braver than I've ever been, he said, and I need you to know that no matter what happens, I'm proud of you. Your mother would be too. Sky's eyes burned. Tell me about her, she said. The real stuff. Not the polished version. So he did. About how she laughed too loud in libraries, about how she always fed stray cats even when they couldn't afford to, about how she believed people were good until they proved otherwise. You have her heart, he said, and her ridiculous courage. Is that why you left? Sky asked. Because she was too good for you? He flinched. Yes, he admitted. I thought I needed to become someone impressive before I deserved her. By the time I realized I was already enough, she was gone. Don't make that mistake with me, Sky said. I won't, he promised. Not again. Sunday. Morning came too fast. Torres fitted Sky with the wire. Tiny camera clipped to her jacket zipper. Microphone in her collar. Don't touch them, Torres instructed. Don't adjust anything. Just act natural. Natural, Sky repeated. Right. The decoy twins arrived with their handlers. Two adorable kids who looked remarkably similar to the real twins. They even had matching outfits. Patricia and Robert were already at the park, setting up blankets, food, making it look like a genuine family gathering. Torres would be nearby, dressed as a jogger, Amara as a woman reading on a bench, 6 undercover officers scattered throughout the park. You ready? Her father asked. Sky took a breath. Ready. The park was busy, families everywhere, dogs running, kids on swings, perfect cover for something terrible. Patricia spotted Sky and waved, smiled, played her part perfectly. Sky walked over. The decoy twins toddled around on the blanket. Handlers stayed close but tried to look like regular nannies. Thank you for coming, Patricia said loudly, for whoever was listening. Of course, Sky replied. They made small talk, ate sandwiches, watched the decoy twins play. 30 minutes passed, then an hour. Sky started to think maybe Cole had changed his mind. Then a man approached, mid-40s, casual clothes, friendly smile. Excuse me, he said. Are those your kids? Patricia tensed. My nephews. Why? Just admiring, the man said. They're adorable. He knelt down near the decoy twins, pulled out his phone. Mind if I take a picture? He asked. Red flags screamed in Sky's head. Actually, yes, Sky said firmly. We do mind. The man's smile faltered. Just a quick photo, he said. No, Sky repeated. The man stood. His friendly demeanor dropped. Richard sends his regards, he said quietly. Then everything happened at once. 2 more men appeared from different directions, moving fast toward the blanket. Torres was already running, Amara on her feet. The first man lunged for one of the decoy twins. Sky threw herself between them. Get back, she shouted. The handler grabbed the decoy, pulled him away. The man's hand closed on Sky's arm instead, grip like iron. Wrong move, kid, he hissed. Torres hit him like a truck. They went down hard. The man's grip released. The other 2 men saw Torres and bolted. Undercover officers gave chase. Patricia screamed. Genuine terror, not acting anymore. Within seconds, the park erupted. Officers closing in from every direction. Families scattering. Kids crying. The first man was on the ground. Torres's knee in his back. Handcuffs clicking. You're under arrest, an officer said, appearing beside them. Sky stood there, heart hammering, arm throbbing where the man had grabbed her. Amara reached her. You okay? I'm okay, Sky managed. The man on the ground laughed, bitter, ugly. You think this proves anything? He said. I'm a lone wolf. Nobody hired me. Just a random creep. Except you mentioned Richard, Sky said. Her voice shook but held. By name. And we got it on tape. His face went white. Torres pulled him to his feet. Cops led him away. The other 2 men were caught within minutes. One tried to run into traffic, got tackled by 2 officers. Amara's phone rang. She answered. Listened. Her face transformed. We got him, she said. What? Sky asked. Cole, Amara said. He was watching from across the park, in a car. When his guys got arrested, he tried to drive away. Police stopped him. Sky couldn't breathe. They have him? They have him, Amara confirmed. Patricia burst into tears. Robert wrapped his arms around her. It's over, Robert whispered. It's actually over. But it wasn't. Not yet. At the police station, Sky gave her statement, told them everything. The wire captured it all. Video. Audio. The man saying Richard's name. The attempted grab. Cole's lawyer showed up within an hour, expensive suit, expensive attitude. My client had nothing to do with this, he declared. He was simply in the area. Pure coincidence. Coincidence? Patterson said coldly. That he was parked with a clear view of the exact spot where his hired men attempted to kidnap children he's been trying to gain custody of? Alleged hired men, the lawyer corrected. You have no proof of employment. Actually, Amara said, entering the room. We do. She dropped a folder on the table. Bank records, she said. All 3 men received wire transfers from a shell company. That shell company is owned by another company, which is owned by Richard Cole. Cole's lawyer grabbed the folder, flipped through. His face went gray. Patricia provided us with the account numbers, Amara continued. We traced everything, months of payments, to the fake nanny, the fake assistant, and these 3 men. She looked at Cole through the observation window. You got sloppy, she said. Desperate people always do. The lawyer closed the folder. I need to consult with my client. They arrested Richard Cole at 8 p.m., charged with conspiracy to commit kidnapping, attempted kidnapping, child endangerment, fraud. The bail hearing was set for Monday. Skye watched the news coverage from her father's apartment, Cole being led away in handcuffs, his face furious, humiliated. Her father sat beside her, twins asleep in their cribs. You did this, he said quietly. We did this, Skye corrected. No, he said. You noticed the fake assistant. You suggested following the money. You stood between them and danger today. This is because of you. Skye didn't feel victorious. She felt tired. Is it really over? She asked. The immediate threat is, her father said. But there's still the trial. He'll fight. He has resources. But we have proof now, Skye said. Yes, he agreed. We have proof. Grandma came over that night, brought Skye's favorite cookies, held her for a long time. You scared me today, Grandma said. I scared me too, Skye admitted. But you did it anyway, Grandma said. That's what brave is. Being terrified and doing it anyway. At school Monday, everyone knew. The attempted kidnapping was all over the news. Skye's name was mentioned, her photo shown. Kids stared, whispered. Mia found her at lunch. You couldn't tell me? Mia asked, hurt in her voice. I couldn't tell anyone, Skye said. It was too dangerous. I could have helped, Mia said. You did help, Skye replied. By being normal. By being my friend when everything else was insane. That mattered more than you know. Mia's expression softened. So it's really over? I think so, Skye said. Marcus joined them. You're kind of a legend now, he said, taken on a billionaire. I didn't take him on, Skye said. I just paid attention and got lucky. That's not luck, Marcus said. That's you. The court hearing happened Wednesday. Cole's bail was denied. Too much flight risk, too many resources. He'd stay in jail until trial. His lawyer tried to argue, failed. Walking out of the courthouse, reporters swarmed, cameras, microphones. Questions shouted from every direction. Torres and Amara shielded Skye and her father, but one reporter got through. Skye, how does it feel to take down a billionaire? Skye stopped, looked at the camera. I didn't take anyone down, she said clearly. I just protected my family. That's what you do when you love someone. You show up, even when it's scary. The clip went viral within hours. The trial was set for 3 months away. 3 months of waiting, wondering, living in the space between danger and safety. Cole sat in jail, but his lawyers worked overtime, filing motions, challenging evidence, trying to poke holes in the case. They're good, Patterson admitted during a meeting. Very good. They'll argue entrapment, claim we set him up. We did set him up, Skye said. We created an opportunity. Patterson corrected. There's a difference. He chose to take it. That's on him. Life tried to return to normal. Sky went to school, saw the twins regularly, worked on scholarship applications, but something had shifted. Kids at school treated her differently now, not badly, just different, like she was fragile, or dangerous, or both. Teachers gave her more space, more grace, more concerned looks. "I'm fine," she told Mrs. Chen after class one day. "Are you though?" Mrs. Chen asked gently. Sky thought about it. "I don't know," she admitted. "I thought I'd feel better after, like everything would go back to how it was. But it can't," Mrs. Chen said, "because you're not who you were before." That hit hard. "Who am I now?" Sky asked. "Someone who's seen too much too young," Mrs. Chen replied, "but also someone stronger than most adults I know." At home, Grandma noticed the change too. "You're quieter," she said one evening. "More in your head." "I keep thinking about what could have happened," Sky admitted. "If things had gone wrong, if they'd grabbed the real twins instead of the decoys." "But they didn't," Grandma said firmly. "But they could have," Sky pressed. "I put them in danger. What if—" "Stop," Grandma interrupted. "You can drown in what-ifs. You made the best choice you could with what you knew. That's all anyone can do." "It doesn't feel like enough," Sky whispered. "It never does," Grandma said. "Welcome to being the person who cares." The twins were changing too, growing faster, talking more, starting to understand the world around them. One afternoon, Sky was playing with them at the apartment. One twin pointed at the door. "Bad man?" he asked. Sky's chest tightened. "No bad man," she said gently. "He's gone. You're safe." "Sky keeps safe," the twin said with certainty. "Yes," Sky said. "Sky keeps you safe." But saying it and believing it were different things. That night, Sky had her first nightmare. She was back in the park. But this time, Torres didn't reach her in time. The man grabbed the real twins, started running. Sky chased, but her legs wouldn't work. She screamed, but no sound came out. She woke up gasping. Her father was there. He'd fallen asleep in the chair by her bed, watching over her. "Bad dream?" he asked, groggy. "Yeah," she managed. He moved to sit on the edge of her bed. "Want to talk about it?" "Not really," Sky said. They sat in silence. "I have them too," he admitted. "The nightmares. About the loading bay. About bleeding out before anyone found me. About the twins being taken." "Do they get better?" Sky asked. "Eventually," he said. "But you have to let yourself feel them first. Can't skip over the hard part." "I hate the hard part," Sky said. "Everyone does," he replied. "That's why it's hard." 2 weeks before the trial, Patricia asked to meet. They met at a different coffee shop. Neutral ground. Patricia looked tired. Older somehow. "I wanted to apologize," she said. "Properly. For everything." "You already did," Sky said. "Not really," Patricia replied. "I said sorry, but I didn't explain why we almost went through with it." She took a breath. "We were desperate," she said. "Losing our home, drowning in debt. When Cole offered us money, it felt like a lifeline. We convinced ourselves it wasn't really wrong, that the twins would be fine, that we'd actually be helping by giving them a bigger family." She looked down at her hands. "But the truth is, we were willing to hurt children to save ourselves. That's not desperation. That's cowardice." "You changed your mind," Sky said. "Too late," Patricia replied. "We should never have considered it at all." "But you told us," Sky said. "You gave us the evidence. You testified. That counts for something." "Does it?" Patricia asked. "To you?" Sky thought about it. "I don't trust you," she said honestly. "Maybe I will someday, but not yet." Patricia nodded, tears on her cheeks. "That's fair," she said. "More than fair." "But the twins liked you," Sky continued. before we knew. They were happy with you. And kids are good at knowing who's real. They are, Patricia agreed. So maybe eventually, Sky said. When the trial is over, when things settle, maybe we can try again, supervised, slow. Patricia's face crumpled with relief. Thank you, she whispered. Don't thank me yet, Sky said. You have to earn it. Actually earn it. I will, Patricia said. I promise. The week before trial, Sky had to testify at a pre-trial hearing. Just her, the lawyers, the judge. Cole wasn't there, but his lawyer was. She asked Sky questions for 2 hours, trying to make her seem unreliable. Too young to understand, coached by adults. Isn't it true you were told exactly what to say? The lawyer asked. No, Sky replied, but you were prepared, rehearsed. I was told what would happen, Sky said, not what to say. There's a difference. You're very articulate for 11, the lawyer said. Thank you, Sky replied. The lawyer frowned. That wasn't a compliment. I know, Sky said. Some people in the gallery chuckled. The judge hid a smile. After 2 hours, the judge called a recess. Patterson pulled Sky aside. You did great, he said. She tried to make me look stupid, Sky said. She tried, Patterson agreed. She failed. That night, Sky's father took her out for ice cream. Just the two of them. No twins, no lawyers, no security hovering close. Torres was there, of course, but gave them space. You've been amazing through all this, her father said. I don't feel amazing, Sky replied. I feel tired. That's what amazing looks like in real life, he said. Not superhero stuff. Just showing up tired and doing it anyway. When does it get easier? Sky asked. I don't know, he admitted. But it gets more familiar, and familiar is almost as good as easy. They ate ice cream in silence for a while. After the trial, Sky said, can we just be normal for a while? Define normal, her father said. Boring, Sky replied. No drama, no danger, just homework and babies and maybe a vacation somewhere with a beach. He smiled. The trial started on a gray Monday morning. The courthouse was packed. Reporters lined the steps. Cameras everywhere. Sky wore a simple dress, nothing fancy, just clean and respectful. Her father walked beside her, Grandma on her other side, Torres clearing a path. Inside, the courtroom felt too big, too formal, too heavy with consequence. Cole sat at the defense table. His suit was expensive, but he looked smaller somehow, diminished. He didn't look at Sky, not once. The prosecution laid out their case methodically. Bank records, wire transfers, testimony from the 3 men who'd tried to grab the decoy twins. All 3 had taken plea deals. All 3 pointed directly at Cole. Patricia testified, told everything, showed the records she'd kept. Cole's lawyer tried to discredit her, called her a liar, an opportunist. You benefited financially from Mr. Cole's generosity, the lawyer said, and now you're repaying him with false accusations. I benefited from his manipulation, Patricia corrected. There's a difference. The lawyer moved on. Then it was Sky's turn. She walked to the witness stand, raised her right hand, swore to tell the truth. The prosecutor started gently. Can you tell us about the night you found the defendant? Sky told the story, the long way home, the crying, the loading bay, finding her father with the twins. Did you know who he was? The prosecutor asked. Not at first, Sky said. I just knew he needed help, and the babies needed someone. And now? Now he's my dad, Sky said simply. And they're my brothers. The prosecutor showed her photos. The loading bay, the orange light, the puddle. Can you identify this location? That's where I found them, Sky confirmed. Then came the harder questions. About Cole, about the threats, about the fake nanny and the drugged twin. How did you feel when you learned someone had given your brother a sedative? The prosecutor asked. Scared, Sky said honestly, and angry. He was just a baby. He couldn't protect himself. So you decided to protect him. Yes, Sky said. That's what guardians do. The prosecutor sat down. Cole's lawyer stood up. She approached slowly, smiled, fake kindness. Sky, you've been through a lot for someone your age. Yes, Sky agreed. And your father, he's very wealthy, isn't he? I guess, Sky said. You guess? The lawyer pressed. He's a billionaire. That's not a guess. Okay, Sky said. He's a billionaire. And as his daughter, as guardian of his children, you stand to inherit quite a bit, don't you? Patterson objected. Relevance? I'm establishing motive, the lawyer said. Overruled, the judge said. But get to your point. The lawyer turned back to Sky. You have a financial interest in maintaining custody of these children, correct? Sky understood what she was implying, that Sky had set Cole up for money. I have an interest in keeping them alive, Sky said. Money doesn't matter if they're dead. But it does matter, the lawyer pushed. You went from poverty to privilege overnight. I went from hungry to fed, Sky corrected, from invisible to seen. But I would have walked toward that crying whether he was rich or homeless, because that's what you do when someone needs help. The lawyer's smile tightened. You're very well spoken, almost rehearsed. I read a lot, Sky said, and I pay attention. That's not rehearsal. That's just who I am. Isn't it true that you were coached by the prosecution on exactly what to say? No, Sky said firmly, but you met with them multiple times before today. To prepare, Sky said, not to be coached. They told me the process, what to expect. But nobody told me what words to use. The lawyer tried different angles, tried to shake her, tried to make her contradict herself. But Sky had one advantage the lawyer didn't expect. She was telling the truth, and truth is hard to break. After an hour, the lawyer gave up. No further questions. Sky stepped down, walked past Cole's table. He looked up for the first time. Their eyes met. His were empty, cold, no remorse. Sky didn't look away first. The trial lasted 3 more days. Expert witnesses, more testimony. Mountains of evidence. The defense argued entrapment, claimed Cole was a victim of circumstance, that the men acted independently. But the bank records didn't lie. Neither did the recorded conversation from the park. Richard sends his regards. 5 words that destroyed him. On Thursday afternoon, the case went to the jury. They deliberated for 6 hours. Sky waited in a side room with her father and grandma. The twins were with a sitter. Too young for this. What if they don't believe us? Sky asked. They will, her father said, but his leg bounced nervously. At 4 p.m., word came. The jury had reached a verdict. Back in the courtroom, Sky's heart hammered. The jury filed in, faces neutral, impossible to read. The judge asked the foreman to stand. On the charge of conspiracy to commit kidnapping, how do you find? Guilty. On the charge of attempted kidnapping, guilty. On the charge of child endangerment, guilty. 4 more charges, all guilty. If you're feeling that justice served relief right now, subscribe and comment what this story taught you. Was it about family, courage, noticing people others ignore? Tell me in the comments what you're taking from Sky's journey, because we're almost at the end, and I want to know this story meant something to you. Cole's face went white. His lawyer objected immediately, called for a mistrial. Motion denied. Sentencing was set for 2 weeks. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed again, but this time Sky's father spoke. Justice was served today, he said, not because of money or power, but because one young girl heard crying and chose to help. Everything that happened after came from that one choice. That's the story here. Not the villain who fell, but the hero who rose. He looked at Sky. My daughter showed me what it means to be brave, to be present, to show up even when it's terrifying. I'm grateful to her, and I'm proud of her. That's all I have to say. They walked away from the cameras. Torres drove them home. In the car, Sky finally let herself cry. Not from sadness, from relief. It was over. Really over. Her father held her hand. You did it, he whispered. We did it, she corrected. At home, the twins were waiting. They ran to Sky the moment she walked in. Sky! Sky! She picked them both up, held them close. They smelled like baby shampoo and crackers and home. We're safe now, she told them. Really safe. One twin patted her face. Sky cry? He asked. Happy cry, she said. It's different. Okay, he said. Like that explained everything. That night, Grandma made her famous stew. They ate together, all of them. Around a table too small for comfort, but perfect for family. Amara came by with champagne for the adults and sparkling cider for Sky. To Sky, Amara toasted, the bravest person I know. To family, Sky corrected. The real kind. The kind you choose. They clinked glasses. Later, after everyone left, after the twins were asleep, Sky sat on the couch with her father. What happens now? She asked. Now we live, he said simply. We be boring. We watch them grow. We figure out this whole family thing together. That sounds nice, Sky said. It does, he agreed. She leaned against him. Thanks for not dying in that loading bay, she said. He laughed softly. Thanks for finding me. Sentencing day came 2 weeks later. Cole stood before the judge, no longer confident, no longer powerful, just a man facing consequences. Richard Cole, the judge began. You used your wealth and influence to target children, to manipulate families, to orchestrate violence. You showed no remorse, no humanity. She looked at him over her glasses. 20 years, federal prison, no parole for 15. Cole's knees buckled. His lawyer caught him. The gavel struck. Done. Sky watched from the gallery, felt nothing but emptiness where anger used to be. He wasn't worth her energy anymore. Outside, reporters asked for statements. This time, Sky stepped forward. Her father looked surprised, but didn't stop her. I'm not celebrating, Sky said into the microphones. A man is going to prison. That's sad. But sadder is that he chose to hurt people instead of help them. He had everything and used it for nothing good. She paused. I hope wherever he is, he figures out what I learned in a loading bay, that the only thing that matters is showing up for people who need you. Everything else is just noise. She walked away. The clip played on every news station that night. Life changed slowly after that. The twins got bigger, started preschool, made friends, had tantrums in grocery stores like normal kids. Sky turned 12, then 13. School got harder, social dynamics shifted, but she had her group, Mia, Marcus, 4 others who'd found their way to her table. They called themselves the Strays. Nobody messed with the Strays. The scholarship program grew. 5 recipients the first year, 10 the second, 20 the third. Sky interviewed every single applicant, read every essay, chose kids who reminded her of herself, kids who saw people others missed. One girl had started a coat drive after seeing a classmate shiver every morning. One boy learned CPR and saved his grandfather's life. One kid organized neighborhood cleanups every Saturday for a year. Quiet heroes, the kind nobody noticed until someone paid attention. At the annual scholarship ceremony, Sky gave a speech. People think heroism is big moments, she said, saving the day, fighting villains. But real heroism is small. It's stopping when someone drops their groceries. It's sitting with someone who's alone. It's walking toward crying when everyone else walks away. She looked at the 20 scholarship winners. You're all heroes, she said, Not because you did something extraordinary, but because you did ordinary things extraordinarily well. You noticed, you cared, you helped, that's everything. The room erupted in applause. Her father watched from the side, eyes shiny. Afterward, one of the winners approached Sky. A girl, 14, nervous. "Can I ask you something?" the girl said. "Sure," Sky replied. "How do you keep going?" the girl asked. "When it feels like nobody cares what you do. When you're just one person and the world is so big." Sky thought about the loading bay, the orange light, the choice that changed everything. "You keep going because someone needs you to," Sky said, "even if you don't know who yet. Even if you never find out, you keep showing up because that's what good people do." The girl nodded slowly. "Thank you," she whispered. "Thank you," Sky replied, "for being the kind of person who asks that question." At home, things were beautifully boring. The twins were 5 now, in kindergarten, learning to read, obsessed with dinosaurs. They still called her Sky, still ran to her first when something was wrong. One evening, Sky was helping with homework. One twin was frustrated, couldn't spell a word. "I'm stupid," he said. "You're not stupid," Sky said firmly. "You're learning. There's a difference." "But everyone else knows it," he argued. "Everyone else has different brains," Sky said. "Your brain is figuring it out your way. That's not wrong, it's just yours." He looked at her with those big eyes. "You always know what to say." "No, I don't," Sky laughed. "I'm making it up as I go, just like everyone else." Her father walked in, smiled at the scene. "Homework help?" he asked. "Spelling," Sky said. "The worst subject," he agreed. He sat down. "Need backup?" Together they helped, made up songs for the hard words, drew pictures, turned frustration into something manageable. When the homework was finally done, the twin hugged Sky. "Love you, Sky," he said. "Love you too," she replied. Simple words, but they carried weight. Patricia and Robert came by once a month now, supervised at first, then less so as trust rebuilt slowly. They brought gifts, played with the twins, never pushed for more than was offered. One visit, Patricia pulled Sky aside. "I know I'll never fully make up for what we almost did," she said, "but I want you to know we're trying, every day, to be people worth knowing." "I see that," Sky said, and she did. "The twins are lucky to have you," Patricia added. "I'm lucky to have them," Sky corrected. At school, Sky started a program, peer mentorship, older kids helping younger ones, not with academics, with life, how to handle bullies, how to ask for help, how to notice when someone needs a friend. It grew fast, 50 kids the first semester, 100 the next. Mrs. Chen helped advise. "You've built something special here," she told Sky. "I just noticed a need," Sky replied, "and filled it." "That's leadership," Mrs. Chen said. "That's just paying attention," Sky countered. Grandma turned 70. They threw a party, small, family and close friends. The twins made cards, covered in crayon and misspelled words. Grandma cried. "I'm so proud of all of you," she said. "We learned from the best," Sky's father said. Grandma looked at Sky. "You turned out pretty good, baby." "Because you showed me how," Sky replied. They hugged, held on tight. One Saturday, Sky took the twins to the old neighborhood, walked the long way, past the warehouses, past the loading bay. The orange light still buzzed, the puddles still formed when it rained. "Why are we here?" one twin asked. "Because this is where our family started," Sky said. "Where I found your dad, where everything changed." "It's just a alley," the other twin said. "It is," Sky agreed. "But sometimes the most ordinary places hold the most important moments." They stood there for a minute, then walked home together. That night, Sky wrote in her journal, something she'd started after the trial, a way to process everything. She wrote about the journey, the fear, the choices, the family built from fragments. Then she wrote something new. I don't know what happens next, but I know whatever it is, we'll face it together, because that's what family does. Not the perfect kind from movies, the real kind. The kind that chooses to stay even when it's hard. That's what we are. That's what we'll always be. She closed the journal, turned off the light, and slept peacefully for the first time in years. 5 years passed like pages turning. Sky was 18 now, high school graduate, college acceptance letters stacked on her desk. The twins were 10, tall, loud, obsessed with soccer and video games. Her father had gray in his hair, laugh lines around his eyes. He'd stepped back from the company, focused on the foundation instead. Grandma moved slower, but her mind stayed sharp. She still knitted, still made the best stew, still called Sky baby, even though she was taller now. It was the twins' 10th birthday party, the same park where the attempted kidnapping had happened years ago. Sky suggested it. "Are you sure?" her father had asked. "I'm sure," she'd replied. "We don't let bad memories own good places." So they came back. Balloons, cake, friends from school, Patricia and Robert, Amara, Torres, retired now but still part of the family. The twins ran around with their friends, playing tag, being loud, being alive. Mia sat beside Sky on a bench. "Can you believe it's been 10 years?" Mia asked. "Some days, yes," Sky said. "Some days it feels like yesterday." "What are you going to study?" Mia asked. "You never said." "Social work," Sky replied. "Child advocacy specifically." "Of course you are," Mia said with a smile. "That's so you." Marcus joined them. He was tall now, heading to engineering school. "Speech time," he announced. Sky's father had asked her to say something. She'd resisted, but eventually agreed. She stood, called for attention. Everyone gathered, the twins front and center, cake smeared on their faces. 10 years ago, Sky began. I took the long way home. I heard crying, and I made a choice that changed everything. She looked at the twins. You two were 3 weeks old, tiny, helpless, depending on a scared man and a hungry girl to figure things out. The twins grinned. They'd heard this story 100 times. "We weren't a family then," Sky continued. "We were just people in the same terrible moment. But we became family. Not because of blood. Not because of money. But because we chose each other. Every single day. Even when it was hard. Especially when it was hard." She paused. "I learned something in that loading bay. Something I want to share with everyone here. The world is full of crying. People who need help. Situations that seem impossible. And most people walk past. Not because they're bad, but because they're scared. Or busy. Or convinced someone else will handle it." She looked around at the faces watching. But someone has to walk toward the crying. Someone has to stop. Someone has to help. And it might as well be you. One twin raised his hand. "Can we have cake now?" Everyone laughed. "Yes," Sky said, "we can have cake now." After cake, after presents, after the party wound down, Sky walked to the exact spot. The place where Cole's men had tried to grab the decoy twins. Her father found her there. "You okay?" he asked. "I'm good," she said, just remembering. "That day was terrifying," he said. "But we survived it," Sky replied. "We survived all of it." He put his arm around her shoulders. "You start college in 2 months." "I know," she said. "The twins are going to miss you." "I'm only an hour away," Sky said. "I'll visit every weekend." "They'll still miss you," he said. "So will I." She leaned against him. "You'll be fine. You've been doing this dad thing for years now. You're pretty good at it." "I had a good teacher," he said. "Grandma?" Sky asked. "You," he corrected. They stood in comfortable silence. "Do you ever regret it?" he asked quietly. "Walking into that loading bay?" Sky thought about it. Really thought. About the fear, the danger, the nightmares. the trial. The weight of responsibility at 11 years old. About the twins' first words, first steps, first day of school, every scraped knee and bedtime story, and I love you in between. About finding her father, building a family, learning what it means to show up. No, she said firmly. I don't regret it. Not even the hard parts. Good, he said, because I don't either. The twins ran over, grabbed her hands. Come play, they demanded. I'm coming, she laughed. They dragged her toward the swings. She let herself be pulled. Her father watched, smiled, pulled out his phone, took a picture. A young woman in jeans and a t-shirt. No red hoodie anymore, but the same person underneath. Two boys pulling her forward, laughing, safe, loved. A family that shouldn't exist on paper, but was real in every way that mattered. That night, back at the apartment, Sky helped put the twins to bed. Sky? One asked as she tucked him in. Yeah? Will you always come back? He asked. Even when you're at college? Always, she promised. Nothing could keep me away. Promise? The other twin asked. Promise, she confirmed. She kissed their foreheads, turned off the light, left the door cracked. In the living room, her father was looking at the photo from earlier. This one's going on the wall, he said. Sky looked at it. Really looked. You could see the park in the background, the place where everything almost went wrong, but in the foreground, joy, connection, life moving forward. Send it to me, she said. He did. Sky looked at her phone, at the image of her family. Then she opened a new message, typed carefully. To the scholarship recipients from this year. You asked me at the ceremony how to keep going, she wrote. Here's my answer. You find your people, the ones worth fighting for, and you show up for them. Every time. No matter what. That's the secret. That's everything. She attached the photo, hit send. Within minutes, responses came back. Thank you. This helps. I needed this. Sky smiled, set her phone down. Grandma came out of her room, saw Sky still awake. Can't sleep? She asked. Just thinking, Sky said. About? About how none of this was supposed to happen, Sky said. Mom dying. Dad disappearing. Me growing up barely getting by. The twins almost dying. All of it. But it did happen, Grandma said. But it did, Sky agreed. And somehow we turned it into this. Into something good. Grandma sat beside her. That's what people do, baby. We take what breaks us and we build something new from the pieces. You're just better at it than most. I learned from you, Sky said. We learned from each other, Grandma corrected. They sat together. Two women, 17 years apart, bound by love and survival and choice. I'm proud of you, Grandma said softly. I'm proud of us, Sky replied. Later, alone in her room, Sky pulled out an old box from her closet. Inside was the card, the one her father had given her that night, the one with the private number on the back. She held it, traced the silver edges, remembered the girl who'd dialed that number with shaking hands, who'd promised a bleeding stranger she wouldn't leave, who'd walked toward crying when everyone else walked away. That girl had grown up, but she was still there, still paying attention, still showing up. Sky put the card back, but she kept the red hoodie, folded neatly, in the back of her closet, a reminder of who she was, who she'd always be, someone who hears crying, someone who walks toward it, someone who stays. The next morning, Sky woke to chaos. The twins arguing over cereal, her father burning toast, Grandma laughing at both of them, normal, beautiful, messy, real. Sky walked into the kitchen. Good morning, her father said. Morning, she replied. One twin handed her a plate. Made you breakfast, he announced proudly. It was burnt toast with too much butter. Perfect, Sky said, and meant it. They ate together, talked about nothing, made plans for later. Just another day, just a family. Built from fragments, held together by choice, and somewhere across the city, in a warehouse district where orange lights still buzzed and puddles still formed, the place where it all began stood empty. Just concrete and metal and shadows. But if you listened carefully, if you really paid attention, you could almost hear it, the echo of crying, and the footsteps of someone brave enough to answer.